right, folks. This is a Bloom Pod first here. So, as you can tell, I have my colleague Marty here. Marty, how are you?
Dude, I'm fantastic. Can't lie, I don't do too well in front of the camera, but we're here.
You stare directly at the camera, which I find to be really interesting.
Just locking eyes.
Oh
man.
So Jake is out today due to sickness. I feel like it's kind of a thing every CanJam. Somebody gets sick. I remember last year, like Headphones.com team got sick. There was some people in their comment section saying they got sick. Our crew's gotten sick before.
Yeah.
And Jake's just paying his dues. Everybody's due to get sick at one point in time in CanJam travel. But not only that, me and Jake actually shot a podcast yesterday. And the audio was, would you say, unusable?
Yeah, it wasn't the most pleasant thing to hear. I mean, you sounded like you were in the other room talking.
I sounded kind of like the Odyssey S20 and how we'll get into that a little bit later because we have a CanJam recap episode here, and we're just going to be kind of talking about our experiences because our experiences differed a little bit. So I think that's pretty cool.
We had two different POVs.
Yeah. Me and Jake were very similarly in the same boat of going around listening to stuff, recording content while also being in the room, but you were pretty much in the room the whole time. So I want to ask you maybe just a few questions to get right into things. First of all, how do you feel like CanJam SoCal went?
I think great. Dude, I can't. Should I stare at you? Like
you can do whatever you want. You are. I don't like to look at it. It kind of freaks me out a little bit once I start to really hone in on it too long. So I like having a conversation with you here.
I like this. I'll look over here. What were we talking about?
I asked you just how CanJam SoCal went, and just your general your feel of the show. Maybe just the attendance, how the Bloom Room went, just what you saw.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was great. I feel like our room felt a lot more busy, but we were in a smaller room, so I think that had to do with that feeling. I think overall attendance I was hearing was a little lower than usual.
Okay.
But on Saturday, I mean, on the show floor and in our room, I thought it was busy.
Yeah, that's interesting because I do think. I was actually telling people that. I was like, I don't know if the show's really busy or is it because our room's a little bit smaller, but it was like there was always a chair filled in our room, which made me kind of think like, oh, attendance must be high. But then I went on the showroom floor and I was like, it wasn't like New York City levels.
No. Or even last year at SoCal.
Yeah.
Last year at SoCal was
popping.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah. But no, I thought it went well. I loved it. I also didn't think there's going to be as many new products there.
Yeah.
And I felt like as I was walking around, I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I wish I could have had more time to listen, but again, like a lot of the booths were filled.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
Yeah, there was a lot of products I felt like I was kind of hanging around to listen to.
Yeah.
Like if I knew I really wanted to listen to it, I would hang around, but there was some where I was just like
what can you do?
Yeah, like I have to be back at the room at a certain time. I have 2 hours of time to listen. Like I kind of got to spend my time wisely here.
Yeah.
I was talking to James from Linsol, and he was like, I can't believe how many new IEM brands are here.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, dude, I feel like I listened to like 3 headphones.
Yeah.
There was just and I know with our product line, it feels like headphones have been slowly but surely releasing every once in a while, where IEMs, we feel like there's a new IEM every week. We talk about that a lot on the podcast. But like this show really told me like, wow, there's a lot of up and coming brands, just a lot of brands out there that I just wasn't familiar with before the show, and kind of asking them like, how long you been in the industry and things like that. I just thought it was really interesting that SoCal, I felt like, brought a lot of new faces to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were talking to CraftEars. They've been in business for a little while. Was that like your most enjoyable listen, you think, was the CraftEars lineup?
Yeah, I think I hung out there for close to like 40 minutes.
Wow.
Like 30, 40 minutes. Because I just took my time with each IM. But their story was just really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they just seem, I don't know if it's how many people are behind that brand. I forget the guy's name that I met.
Yeah.
But they just take their time with their stuff. He was telling me for one of their IMs, like he made over 16 prototypes and was working on it for over a year. And so I could just tell, like when I was listening and holding the IM, like looking at the cable, build quality from the sound, you could just like tell they're very intentional over there, taking their time. The sound was right down my alley. I make jokes, like I'll complain about like 8K peaks, 12K peaks. Like I can be a bit sensitive to the treble. And I didn't even tell him any of this. And he's telling me, he was like, yeah, like we make sure to smooth out the 8K, 12K peaks. He's like saying all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, like do you know who you're talking to right now? And I'm like, this sounds right down my alley. And I loved it. I'm a big, I love 64 Audio's house sound. And I feel like CraftEars is kind of similar with their approach. And so I was enjoying it. I hung out there for a while. Yeah. I had like an hour a day to kind of listen when I was outside of the room, and I pretty much spent almost my whole hour at their booth, but I had no regrets. I was like, that was fun.
So did you listen to, I know the one was like the Omnium TI. I might be butchering that.
Yeah.
Omnium.
That was their newest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that one and there was the OG. Did you go back and forth between those two?
I did. I liked, it's tough. I think I really did like the OG.
Yeah.
The TI, at first I was like, oh, like this is maybe a little too dark sounding, but more I listened to it, I was like, honestly, I could see myself just listening to this IM all day. Yeah. And loving it, not getting like ear fatigue. But I don't know, like I would have to bounce back and forth because I'd like the OG. The TI, just every time I went back to it, it just felt a little too dark sounding.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's interesting. I went between the OG and the TI, and I think I like the OG more.
Yeah.
I think the TI, I was just like, okay, this is nice, enjoyable sound, very easy to listen to. But then the OG kind of gave me a little like, oh man, there's a sense of, I don't know, detail, extension here that I felt like I was kind of lacking with the TI. But both are really good sets, and I really like what you said about the craftsmanship and the quality of it, because I was like, whoa, like pretty blown away. Yeah. Obviously it comes with like a $2,900 price tag, but at least you see that level of craftsmanship in a $2,900 price, or like in a $2,900 IEM, rather than just good sound and a build that's kind of forgettable. But
and even, sorry, not to cut you off, but the IEM with the EST drivers, I forget which.
I didn't listen to that. I only listened to Omnium TI and OG.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're two lower tiered ones. I think I liked better than their flagship ones. Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah, so those were priced around, like one of them was priced around like $1,200.
Yeah.
Really like that one. And then the one step above, now I wish I had my laptop because I could have the names. Yeah. But the step above, they had these EST drivers, and honestly I was like, this is one of the best implementations of ESTs that I've heard in an IM. And then I forget who I was talking to later. He was saying the same thing. He was in our room.
Oh, man.
He overheard me talking, and then he was like, dude, this one IM, I loved it. Love the EST drivers. And I was like, okay, like it's not just me. So I don't know. I was loving their lower tier stuff more than their flagship. Yeah. I think when you're messing with that flagship level price, it can just be a bit tough if I'm not getting my socks knocked off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's tough too. Like I don't even mean to sound this in a I don't know, pretentious kind of way, but like we've listened to so many flagships. We get so much of the latest and greatest that when a flagship kind of isn't doing that, it's tough for us to be like, oh, well, I see its good characteristics. It's easier for us to just be like, nah, not worth the price tag. Yeah. Like we've heard a good bit where I think somebody at a show could listen to a flagship and just be really blown away by it because it's one of the first high-end IMs they've heard, and they're like, oh, wow, this is really great. Obviously,
100%.
Taste and preference.
And I think that's a mindset that I struggle with sometimes because it's like I have all these flagships to my disposal, and I'm able to listen to them and really narrow down the ones that I like. And I feel like sometimes I can lose that perspective on like how special flagships can be. Because when I'm at CanJam, some people will grab flagships that I may not like, and their reaction is like, dude, this is the best thing ever. And it's like going in their shoes. It's like, well, they probably don't have the opportunity to listen to everything, and I probably would have that same reaction. I mean, I did when I first was trying everything out. And so like that's another thing I like about CanJam is like I feel like it's a reminder of how special these products are. Yep. And I don't know, I feel like every time I go to CanJam, it's just like it just changes my perspective of just like all this stuff is awesome in the end. And everyone has a different ear. Like talking to some customers, they'll listen to certain IMs I do not like, and they're like, I love it. It's my favorite. Like the I think the Astel and Kern Luna. I was talking to you about that. Like, it's just a lot darker sounding, I think. Unless he was talking about the other one, I forget.
I was talking to a customer between the Grand Luna, and the guy was like, I really like the Grand Luna for its vocal representation. I was like,
yeah.
So that's interesting. I don't get any vocals in that IM. It sounds like they're under a blanket or underwater. Yeah. So I was like, that's just interesting. But
it just goes to show like everyone perceives stuff so differently. But
CanJam is a really good reminder of that. I feel like I get kind of like what you were saying. I think that's a really good perspective because a lot of the times I'm listening to these products here and I just get so caught up in the idea of like latest and greatest. I need something new. Steve was just looking around like, we got anything new in this building? And I'm just like, I just like laugh to myself because I feel like I find myself thinking that all the time. And I go to CanJam and these people are like, oh my gosh, you have the Moondrop variations. And it's like, bro, IM's been out for like so long. Like that's the the Stone Ages at this point in time. And it's like, oh yeah, he probably hasn't listened to that one. He probably hasn't listened to that one or that one or that one. It's like, oh, I think I take for granted the opportunity I have to listen to all this new gear and also just kind of spend 30 minutes with the new IM. Be like, it doesn't have what I'm looking for in the bass or the mid. And it's like, dude, I should definitely spend more than 30 minutes, and we oftentimes do because we just do have it at our disposal. But it is a really good reminder, and people and their infectious spirit about these products usually do remind me, like, this is awesome.
Fires me up every time. I'm just like,
we're back.
This is what it's all about. Like, I love it because being in customer service, it's like, you're more dealing with customer-facing issues. That's why they're reaching out to you in the first place because they have a problem that we need to address or fix. So sometimes, like, I just find myself getting wrapped up in that when it's like, in the end, all of us just love audio. Yeah. And, like, that's just what it's about, and I love it.
Yeah.
But...
yeah,
I went on a tangent there.
Dude, I love it because that's I think the side of CanJam that most people don't get to see.
Yeah,
I think in the industry, it's just a totally different experience than just attending and be like, wow, like, look at all these great products and look at all these people I chat online with and stuff like that. Where for us, it really is, I think, a big reminder of how special it is to do to be a part of and to see new products. Like, it's cool to see now, like Hi-Fi for All. Like, Nick, when we first met him at SoCal last year. He's like, I kind of didn't expect, the hype, the craze, like, of this product. And now, like, talking to him, and he's like, yeah, it's nice to go to a show and you have the product in production and you can sell units and manufacturing's pretty much ironed out. It's like, wow. Like, that.
It's crazy.
It's such crazy. A crazy, like, oh my gosh, like, that's awesome. You've been working on that. You've been behind the scenes, like, going, making something that you're really proud of and stuff. It's just, I don't know. There's so many different elements of CanJam that I think it's so much more than just the gear. It's really about the people, the experience, and
the community. Else. It's just, I love it. And then also meeting customers, like putting a face to all these people that I'm emailing is like, oh no, I love it. I just love it.
It's so
I walk
cool.
away from every CanJam like tired but happy.
Yes.
I'm like,
tired is definitely top of the list. Yes. In the room, do you feel like there were any products that really took people by surprise, or maybe you were surprised, like, wow, this one's being received really well?
I mean, at the moment, not surprised, but like Kronos did really well. I wouldn't say like that shocked me, but I also wasn't anticipating it to also do that well.
That's so funny you say that. Me and Jake, I asked him this question, or he asked me this question, and we both said Noble Kronos.
Yeah. Because everyone was just saying like Kronos, and I was like, oh, because like in customer service, talking about IMs, people talking about Kronos is very low, and I feel like sometimes I can lay my perspective on things just in that, which is definitely kind of like a narrow mindset, I guess. But like being at CanJam, I was like, oh, like a lot of people want to listen to the Kronos, which it's a good IM. Don't blame it all. Like, I don't blame them at all. But it was Kronos. Yeah, man, I can't. It was Kronos.
Yeah, that's what me and Jake were literally thinking. We're like, I can't think of something that's more talked about than Kronos. And I really like what you said about customer service, because it's like very small portion of our demographic is kind of searching for flagship IEMs, because we just get so many inquiries that if you look at the average, people are shopping in the $500 to $700 price range. I think that would average itself out. We get a lot of Monarch MK4 inquiries. And Kronos has done well, but like at CanJam, it was everyone that listened to it was like, dude, the Kronos, like this has been the best listen of my experience here in Bloom. And I'm just like, what? Like, I love that IM. I think it's great, but I'm just like, wow. I didn't expect that. Because like we sent, the Top Pro for the preview video. The MK4 is now getting people into people's ears. I feel like those two were kind of overshadowed by like Cronus. Like, it was crazy.
Took over.
Yeah.
Andromeda did pretty well too.
Yeah, Andromeda 10. Good impressions.
That's just
there.
because like that IM has a reputation that goes
way back. Before our time.
Yeah. Before. I don't even think I even listened to the 2019.
Okay.
I think I just listened to the 2020.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what the 2019 version sounds like. But that IM I did like though, I will say.
You like the Andromeda 10?
Yeah,
it was good. I thought they got back to that Andromeda house sound where like Emerald Sea was just like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know what this is. This is not Andromeda. And I feel like Andromeda 10 was like, okay, we're back. Like, we're back to the 2020. It's got some elements of the 2019. I always found the 2019 kind of bright, and then the 2020 kind of fixed that. Still had good extension, good bass, great vocals. And I feel like Andromeda 10 is kind of like the most refined version of what I've heard of Andromeda's house sound, and I think it's nice. I think it's really good. Really good bass.
Yeah,
really
the bass was nice.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like nice bass.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I don't know. That's why I like 64 audio.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I was gonna ask you, is the Zio the best listen you had at CanJam, or 64 audio Zio, I should say?
Like, you guys just need to understand, like, I'm a 64 audio enthusiast. I'm a fanboy. Like, I'm biased. Like, I own up to it. Like, I don't care.
We all have our biases.
But yeah, like, so the velour, when I first got in this hobby, I remember you really liked the velour.
I love the velour.
Like, dude, you gotta listen.
First 10 seconds I put in my ear, I literally said, "Oh, we are so back."
Yeah, dude, I put the velour on and I was like, "Oh, like, this is my favorite IM." I think it's still in my bio on Bloom as
Empyrean
my favorite
2
IM.
and velour is your favorite audio product.
Which, like, I wouldn't say the velour is my favorite because, like, my likings kind of changed. Like, after a while, my biggest gripe with the velour was, like, the vocals weren't that good. Like,
a little bit veiled.
Discovered that I love really good, present, huge vocals in an IM, and the velours don't really have that, but I also use EQ, so, like, you make some adjustments. You're there with the velour. I still use it all the time. Yeah. But with the I call it the XIOs. Is it the Zio?
Yeah, they were saying Zio. I just don't like the name. I like XIO.
Yeah, I like XIO. Zio, XIO.
Yeah, Jason from Astle and Kern came in. He's like, "Here's Zio." Yeah. And I was like, what is he talking about? And I was like, wait, is that XIO?
You like new IM?
Yeah, I was like, they already dropping a new one? Yeah, so XIO, Zio, to each their own. Yeah. I like XIO.
Yeah, I'm going to say XIO just for the record.
Yeah.
But I put in the XIO, and it had that bass that, like, the velour, I feel like, kind of has. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just has that unique bass sound, but then the vocals were present, the mids were present. It was just, like, everything down my alley. Like everything that I was EQing, like maybe the velour or something to sound like, I was like, the XIO has it and even better. And, like, I love it. Like, I love it. I wish that IM wasn't as limited. I wish everyone could have it. I wish I could share it with everyone.
That's one that I feel like didn't. I had to kind of put in people's ears, which was interesting because I was like, people were asking for like the 64 audio, like, "Oh, do you have like the U4S and the solo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we do, but like you should probably listen to XIO. Like it's limited, you know." I feel like I had to kind of give it people a sales pitch, and they would always listen to it. Like, yeah, it's a good set. But I feel like that was one that should have been on more people's radar, on more people's lists, going into it, because it's a great set.
It is. I feel like that IM is like one of, because the Neo did a good job, but like that IM's more centered towards people that want to enjoy music. I feel like the U4S is great, but I mainly use it for like mixing or like music production. Because I feel like for enjoyment, it can be a bit dull in that way. Same with like U12T, it's great, but it misses that energy that I like to have when I just want to listen to music and enjoy it. And I always thought like that 64 audio is like weakness, but not really, because I don't think they're even going for that. But XIO like had it. I was like, yeah, like this is engaging. I could listen to it all day. I feel like I've been talking about this IM for 10 minutes. So.
Well, Duck Bloke, it was funny. He was like, he listened to XIO and he was like, "It's nice of 64 audio to put a bass response like this in their IM."
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a great way of saying it. And I think it took that collab with Astle and Kern to kind of do that for them, because I think typically their house sound would not call for that.
No.
And I think they finally were like, yeah, let's do something a little bit different. And I think it came out really well.
Yeah.
It does have that emotional engagement that I do think those two IEMs like the U12C and U4S lack. So yeah, I think that's good insight. I do wish more people had heard it, but anything on the headphones side, I feel like we brought, actually this was one of the biggest assortments of headphones we've ever had at a CanJam.
So many.
We had the 105 Silva, 105 AER, all the new Hi-Fi Man headphones. So Aria unveiled, Susvara unveiled, Edition XV, HE600, or not HE600. I'm sorry. What is the one?
It was the
H6.
H6.
H600.
I thought it was H600. Right?
Okay.
Unveilers.
I don't know. Dude, Ananda unveiled. Like we had, there's too many Hi-Fi Man names and too many similar name conventions. We need some more distinctions here. And then we had the new Dan Clark XO, Dan Clark X. Was there anything in the?
We also had those two headphones.
Yes. I know.
Their brand name is so hard.
I know. So the headphone 2 and the headphone GT.
Yeah.
I feel like the head audio stuff got some love.
It did. Their vocals were great.
Yeah, really, really.
Vocals.
And a punchy low end. I love a punchy low end.
Punchy low end. Like honestly, like I really enjoyed those headphones. I was like, the fit is awesome.
Yeah.
Vocals are awesome. Yeah, headphones. This was our biggest CanJam in our room, headphone wise. Like we had so many. I felt like I was in a sea of headphones.
Yeah.
I was just like taking cables out of different headphones and plugging them in different headphones, hand them to customers like the whole time.
We've never prioritized headphones, I feel like, at any of our shows. And this one, it was like, let's do it.
Yeah, and it was fun, honestly.
I know.
I think more options. I like that we brought a lot of like lower tier options because I was talking to a few people where, they like headphones, but they're like, I can never afford like a Susvara or something that's like $1,000. And so to have like a lower tier chain setup that you built, and then those lower tier headphones, I felt like there's a whole market of people that I was able to interact with, and they were able to actually demo stuff that they might buy to use at home. But yeah, Hi-Fi Man stuff got a lot of praise. They're the X4. Is that
XV?
Yeah, XV.
The Edition XV.
Edition XV.
That's my favorite.
And then the one we were tripping up on, the H600, I thought, something like that.
I'm just going to look it up. You keep going because this is driving me nuts. Yeah.
That one got a lot of praise because that one does a really good job with the vocals. And some people were loving that one. But yeah, those were kind of like the hard hitters. And then, of course, like Aria Unveiled.
It is the HE600.
HE600. Yeah, Aria Unveiled. A lot of people love that one.
Aria Unveiled. Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, it was a good time. And then people love the Cayenne tube amp.
Dude, Cayenne Soul, every show, somebody is like, I got to take this home.
I know. There's a guy on Saturday. He was like, he was really tempted.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm debating selling all my audio stuff to get the Cayenne Soul. And I was like,
dude, seeing people go through that decision-making process as like, you're just like watching, like, they're just like, I think I could do it. I think I could, if I just moved it. And it's like, I don't want to encourage you to do this.
Like, I don't know.
Like, I'm hands off this process. There was one guy at the end of the day on Sunday. He's like looking at the DCS DAC and Master Clock, and he's like, what's the best you could do off this? And I'm like, I could bring it down to this. He's just like looking, he's like doing all the calculations. And I'm like, man, I got a pack. Like, is there anything else I can help you with? He's like, I'm just gonna need some time. He's like walking the showroom floor. He comes back. He's like, I'm just gonna need some more time to think about it. I was like, yeah, man, take your, I literally was like, dude, please take your time. Like, please sleep on. The offer's not gonna expire. Like, dude,
It's stressful. I know. It's a lot. Because I think like some of these people never listen to this stuff.
Yeah.
They finally get their chance.
It hits you in a wave.
Yeah, they're blown away. And it's like, well, I want it. But it's also like, it's an expensive piece of equipment.
Very expensive.
Like, you gotta sleep on it. Like, you're in that CanJam mindset. You're not thinking straight in that hotel.
Yeah.
Like, there's no sun. You're just going to each room, plugging in audio equipment. Like, the amount of people I talk to at the end of the day, they're like, dude, They're like, I need to go to bed. I need to walk. Like, at the end of the day, they're absolutely just shot.
It's like a casino environment.
Yeah.
It's just like, list all this great stuff. Like, oh, dude, I got to go to this one. I got to go to this one. It's like, there's no windows, no anything. Like, I sometimes will just walk for lunch and just like, holy crap, dude, what has been going on? And you walk right back and say, all right, let's go. We got 5 hours.
We're going in.
Giveaways, go. It's such a crazy, fun atmosphere. And yeah, I think at the end of the day, you are thinking like, dude, I need this. And it's like, well, maybe take a day to think about it.
Go take a nap. Come back. I don't know. It's crazy stuff.
It's fun. But how about almost missing our flight on the way there?
Oh.
That was interesting. And for the folks who don't know, me, Jake, and Steve all traveled together. Marty was separate. And then Andrew, Emily, and Sierra all traveled together. Yeah. And holy smokes, man. Me, Jake, and Steve almost didn't make the show. Yeah, it was
buzzer
close, dude. It was. We left relatively on time. I mean, we probably left maybe 20 minutes later than we should have because we were all just packing our stuff up. Funny story, the Ibasso D17 came 5 minutes before we left. And this is a little bit of this will provide some context later on. But Steve was just like, well, let's just throw them into a bag. We want to share this at the show. Like, yeah, let's threw 3 units in. We were going to sell 2, have 1 as a demo. And so it's like, all right, let's pack out of the car and go. So we start driving. We run into some traffic, probably 2 accidents that were really, really bad. And during like us driving, I was thinking like, okay, I guess it's not a huge deal. Like, it's not that bad. Like, we're losing some time here, but we should be fine. And then I realized our gate got changed. Yeah. And I was like, like, I wonder if that's going to provide complications. And I realized it was Terminal A, and we had paid for parking in Terminal C.
Dude, that sucks.
So I'm starting to think, like, there's some things stacking up against us here that we need to figure out. So we finally get to Terminal C. We park, enter through, and we're like, we should just get to Terminal A before we go through security, everything. So we go over to Terminal A. The shuttle and Airbus is taking forever. Like, we must have hit it right when it just departed because then we're waiting for it to get back. We're waiting for the shuttle. I'm like, this is bad. Like, now the reality of the situation is starting to kick in, and I'm like, dude, we really might miss this flight. Like, this is kind of nuts. So we finally get over to Terminal C, and we enter security. And it's like, 5-minute wait time. Newark has all the new machines. You don't have to take anything out of your bag.
By the way, I love that.
Yes.
The last, Philly Airport, they have a few that have the newer machines.
Some do and some don't. Yeah.
Dude, everyone needs the new machines.
I know.
Why? Not everyone needs the new machines. I want to take my belt off. On the way home.
No shoe. You get to keep your shoes on?
Yeah, you get to keep your shoes on. Dude, it's ridiculous. All my pants are mostly too big for me, so when I have to take my belt off, it's scary. It's like I got to plan accordingly. Anyway, that would have been TMI. I'm sorry.
No, that was nice. That was a nice input because the new machines they should be an industry standard.
Yeah, industry standard.
And these new machines, you don't have to take any electronics out of your bags. Yeah. But we travel with some heavy packing of electronics.
Yeah.
So we carry these big Pelican cases. I had all the DAPs, Jake had all the IEMs, and Steve had the D17s and some other electrical components. I forget what it was. I send my stuff through security, and it gets stopped. And I'm like, okay, I have the DAP bag. No big deal. Done this a million times. I talked to the people, talked to the security agent, probably a 7-minute process of just detailing what they are, where we're going. She swabbed everything. She was like, you're good to go. Jake doesn't get stopped. And then I'm like, okay, we're good. And I see Steve kind of waiting around. I'm like, Jake, are we going to go? And he's like, no, Steve got stopped. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh no. This security agent pulled out everything. Pulled out the D17, unboxed everything. Probably the first person in North America to have access to a D17 was a TSA Newark Liberty International.
First unboxing was there.
It was like, holy smokes, like accessories, asking Steve what this is, and like, Steve's, what is it? Who is it for? Should you buy it? He's telling everybody like.
You should have been filming the whole thing.
Dude, I was it's like the biggest regret of the show is I didn't record this and post on YouTube first unboxing of the D17.
I wish I could have seen that.
It was like Steve just keeps looking back, and like Steve's stressed. He lost his Nintendo Switch in the airport. Yeah. Luckily, he got it back because he filed a lost. Crazy.
When does that ever happen?
He filed a lost item claim at the Newark Liberty International Airport. They found it for him. It's a Switch Lite. It's not even like a Switch 2. Like, holy smoke. So So he's already stressed as it is. This security agent is asking him a million questions. We have now at this point 20 minutes to board. And I'm just like, holy crap. Luckily, our gate is right there, at least what I thought. So then Steve starts repacking the package. Everything's all good to go. And we're like, okay, we have like 15 minutes. We got to go. I look down. The gate is down the hall all the way to the left of the airport terminal. And I'm like, there is no way. Like, this is absurd. So we start going down. We start light jogging. I'm not running yet, but I'm like, we probably should be running. Yeah. And we finally get to the gate. I scan in. Steve scans in. I'm like, oh, it's over. Like, we finally got to the flight. Jake goes to scan his, and a big red X comes up. And I'm like, what is happening? I was like, he's probably scanning his return flight ticket. I'm starting to think, like, I don't think he has his return flight ticket yet. I think Sierra still has that. Scans it again, big red X. And I'm like, what is happening? So the guy's like, are you Emily DiMarcangelo? And I'm like, he's not Emily DiMarcangelo. So he's like, no. And he's like, well, that's the ticket you're trying to scan. And then we all realize, oh my gosh, Emily scanned Jake's, or somehow, some way that ticket was already in use. Like, what is going on? So Jake's like, no, I know Emily. Like, can I just scan her ticket now and go on the flight? And the TSA agent's like, no, like, you can't do that. Like, we need her here. So we finally call up Emily. She's not answering for like 2 calls. We finally get her up, and like a security alarm. Did you hear it on the plane?
No, but she said when she ran out there, she set off the alarm.
She set off an alarm so loud, it was deafening. Yeah. I had to put my AirPods in. I immediately went like that, and then I was like, dude, I have to put my AirPods in. It was so loud. Like, I think most of the gate around us just heard this blare. I mean, they definitely heard it, but it's just blaring. I didn't know if it was the siren was like right above me, but I was like, this is bananas. So it's just going off as she's trying to scan this ticket. Finally, it gets all sorted out, and Jake's able to get on, and we're boarding, and we were the last people.
Yeah, last people. It was just in time, too.
It was just in time.
Because I remember, I got there early because I had an appointment before the airport.
Yeah, wow.
Should I tell him?
Yeah. Bro made an appointment to get his real ID the day of the flight.
Yeah, it's hard to get a real ID in New Jersey. I don't know about other states.
Yeah.
So I made my appointment like a while ago, and then CanJam's here, and I'm like, yeah, like I'll have my real ID by then. And then leading up to CanJam, I'm looking at both dates. I'm like, like my appointment is on the day of my flight. And so, like, that sparked, some anxiety a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah.
So I was doing, like, some research, like, the day before if I would be okay without a real ID. And it seemed like people on the internet were being like, yeah, like, it's too soon. Like, too many people don't have it. Like, you're going to be fine. But I was like, I'm going to go to my appointment anyway. So I got to the airport, like 11, 10:30, like pretty early. By the way, they let me in. They looked at me. They swabbed my hands for drugs because I didn't have a real ID, and like that was it. It took like an extra 5 minutes. So
just your hands.
Yeah, just
your hands.
Just my hands. That was
fine.
it.
Yeah.
So if you guys are wondering, because I was even talking to them, they're like, "Yeah, we can't enforce it." They were like, they might try and enforce it next year, but like, who knows? So if anyone's stressing about a real ID, you're good for now.
You're good.
But yeah, I'm chilling at the airport the whole time, seeing these texting updates. But yeah, I boarded the plane alone because everyone else was kind of running a little late, but not as late as you guys. Yeah. And yeah, it's like getting down to the wire. Like Sierra gets on the plane and tells the person you guys are headed, over to the plane, and I think he was kind of like, okay, but like,
be prepared to take off without him.
Like, we're about to take off. But it was literally last.
It was last minute.
I normally don't get anxious about that stuff. Like, the whole morning, I was texting them like, guys, we're going to be okay. You guys are going to get on the plane. But I'm sitting on the plane, and I was like, all right.
Like, now things are looking a little, like a little terrible.
I don't know if they're going to make it, but they made it. You guys made it. Thank you.
And well, I'm the worst person in that situation because I'm trolling the whole time. I'm texting, oh, dude, we just missed the Airbus again, dude. We're not going to make it.
It was actually
I'm texting Andrew, who just bought all of these tickets, everything, paid for all of our travel. Yo, Andrew, Steve's filming a D17 unboxing at security. Like, we got to get this video up ASAP. And he's like, what are you talking about? What's going on at security? I'm like, dude, you're not going to believe it. We had an opportunity to film an unboxing. You know, it's like, what?
Dude, I wish you guys
so
got that
troll.
recording.
I know,
That would've
dude.
been
I
so
know.
good.
I was in the moment just thinking about all the possibilities of us missing our flight and like what that would look like.
Know. But there's always something. That's the thing. I think I don't even know what CanJam this has been for me. Maybe like 4, 5.
I've been to a lot.
But for me, it hasn't been that many. But for all of them, there's always like something that happens.
Dude, always.
Always. But we always make it through. It always works out.
Always somehow works out.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy. But I always feel bad for Sierra because she leads the whole thing.
Yes.
And you always can tell when something like this arises. She's trying to keep her cool.
Yep.
But it's like, I don't know, she preps like 3 months in advance for CanJam.
Yeah.
So to know that 3 of your guys might not make it on their flight and we have all this, set up to do, it was an interesting 10
Yes, it was stressful. And not as stressful as my first CanJam experience when it was me, Andrew, and Steve. We were going to Chicago when Chicago still had CanJam, or Chicago still had CanJam. And this was back when we just carried, 20 IMs, a bunch of DAPs, and some headphones. We packed in like 2 suitcases. I don't even think we shipped anything.
It's a different time.
So yeah, it's a totally different time. So I'm the new guy. I am probably 2 or 3 months into my tenure, and I have the suitcase of pretty much all of our gear. And I'm going through security like, dude, this is so cool. I'm traveling for business. I'm the man, dude. Like, this is awesome. This totally rules. Going through security, I'm just like, yeah, dude. Like, I'm about to text my mom, like, yeah, I made it. I'm going to Chicago. Start walking to the flight, like, dude, this is awesome. Andrew's like, yeah, where's your suitcase? You carried a suitcase. And I'm like, I carried a suitcase? And I'm like, I did carry a suitcase. I'm like, where? I'm looking in my pockets like, yeah, where's the suitcase?
Where's the suitcase?
And I was like, Andrew, I left at security. Me and him ran. I've never seen Andrew run before then. Very interesting running motion at that time because he was like clearly trying to keep his pockets.
Yeah, he's got all the stuff in the pockets.
Yeah, like it was like a weird run. I was like, what's going on? That was actually what I was thinking of while I was running. I was like, this is a weird like interaction here. But we got the suitcase and we were able to make it. But it's literally just goes to show there's always something every CanJam. CanJam Dallas is most notorious for all of our packages not getting delivered to the hotel and having.
What can you do?
Dude, like that's just stuff you gotta work through. So we always make it, but it's an interesting experience every time.
It is. It's a fun one though.
Yeah,
it's a fun one.
Was there a worse listen at the show for you? Was there a worse listen? Maybe. Well, was there? Maybe that goes. There was some foreshadowing there in the beginning of the podcast episode. But was there maybe a worse listen in the room too that people had or?
In our room? Yeah, let's start with our room.
Okay.
Worst listen. Actually, now that I think about it, like, no.
I'm trying to think.
Because, in our room, we have a bunch of IMs on one table. Then we have all the DAPs over here. And then we have all the headphones here. I was mainly stuck by the headphones. Mm-hmm. So I don't know so much for the IMs as much. Headphones... No one really had any complaints. Okay. You know what? There was one dude, which I really hope he likes the headphone, but he picks up the 105 Silva. He plugs it into, so we had like 3 different chains pretty much, like a low tier chain that you built, which was no more than like $600 or so.
It was actually, I think, like $630 because it was the FOC ZD3 and the topping A70.
Yeah.
And the topping A70 with tariffs went up to like $599, then the ZD3 is like $140 or something like that. Around there. Less than $700.
So that was like our lower one, and then we had the Cayenne stack as our mid-tier one, and then the Lena DAC into the Cayenne Soul. So this guy goes on the low tier one, plugs in the 105 Silva, and he's like, man, like I just don't like this. Like it's got to be like the source. He goes, can I switch to the Cayenne stack? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like,
we can do
it. He switches to the Cayenne stack, which honestly, I forget how good that Cayenne stack sounds. Yeah. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, this is really good.
Yeah.
So he plugs it in. He's like, oh, like, yeah, this headphone sounded right. I love this headphone. It sounded so good. He goes, I'm buying it. And,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bold.
And I was like, okay. I was like by chance, like, what source do you have at home? I kind of forget what he said, but like, I was trying to just tell him like the kind stack sounds really good. Like, I don't like.
It's a very dedicated chain.
It's a very dedicated chain. And I was like, I want you to make sure you're liking the headphone for what it is and not for what you paired it with. And so I don't know. He didn't seem to really care. He bought the headphone, walked out, and I was just like, I hope you're enjoying it. But on the low tier system, he was not liking it. But on the low tier system, I think that system sounds good.
Yeah, I thought it sounded good too.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. Like the topping A70, like that thing's awesome.
I'll give him this. The Silva is quite thin in my experience. So maybe with the topping A70, it was just so clean that it was like, eh.
Yeah,
and then
like,
the Cayenne gave us a warm.
I just hope you have a source at home that's matching that Cayenne stack because that thing's nice. It
is
sounds
nice, dude.
But yeah, as far as worst listen, that was like kind of my only
experience.
Experience of like a complaint in that field. For the most part, I feel like when I was handing out IMs and headphones, everyone was either having like, oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or I love it. I feel like in past CanJams, I've had very distinct, like, they put in their ears and they're like,
no way.
They take it out. They hate it. I don't really get that. Me. What about you, though?
So I have one kind of funny story. The water cooler guys came into the room and they're like, they're always trying to be wowed and impressed. And it's hard with them because they listen to so much. So I'm like, really thinking through, trying to pull out all the tricks up my sleeve. And Ayel, I don't know if he listens, but Ayel starts listening to the Noble Van Gogh, and he's like, I really like this. Like, I really love this. And I'm kind of indifferent on the Van
by the way,
Gogh.
a lot of love on that IM.
Yes.
At the show, at least I
Big
saw.
Noble show.
Yeah,
big
honestly,
noble show.
Anyway.
So I was like, I really like this IM, and I'm like, yeah, I'm indifferent on it. I think it's above average. I think it's fine. But I was like, one that I really think is great from Noble is the Aegis 2. I was like, this is an underrated IM, and I was like, I think it's gonna knock your socks off. Starts listening. He's like, yeah, this isn't for me at all. He's like,
dude, it's such a bad feeling.
Yeah, it's like, no, the bass in here is pretty lackluster. Like, I'm just not having it. Yeah, I was like, oh, bummer. So that was probably one of the more bummer moments because I really like IL and I really wanted to impress him with my IEM knowledge and be like, yeah, you haven't even heard of this one. Like, this one slept on. He's like, this is not for me.
Yeah. I never know, like, you always just gotta like shake your head. You're just like
shot in the dark.
Yeah, like what can you say? They're just ripping it. Like they're just ripping on something that you hyped up to be pretty good.
It was a bummer. There was one guy there that had very unique taste. He showed me a planar that apparently had a ribbon driver in it for an IEM.
I remember you showing me that.
That was a really good set, which I was really surprised by because going into the listen, I was like, dude, I think it's going to be butt. Like, I don't think this is going to be very good.
Do you know anything about ribbon drivers? Like, coming from my experience with ribbon, I'm used to, like, ribbon drivers and microphones. And so, like, ribbon drivers can be, like, super sensitive. Like, they're known
very sensitive
to be something you have to be careful with because you can, like, blow them up.
Well, that's why the RAL stuff uses like that impedance matching thing because they're so sensitive. So I don't really know much about them, honestly.
Okay, so I was going to say with these IMs, I didn't know if there was like a special way.
They were sensitive, but not any more than a Campfire Audio Fathom. Like, it wasn't. I mean, Fathom's really sensitive, but it wasn't like one volume up and I'm like, holy crap. It seemed pretty okay. So that was kind of what alluded me to the fact, like, he knew ball. I mean, this guy knew a lot about IEM. So the fact that he was talking about it and he's like, I think there's a ribbon driver in here. I was like, okay. So I thought it sounded really good, but his ears were very interesting because he was just like dunking on some of the stuff that I really enjoyed. And I was like, man, this is a bummer for sure.
What can you do? That's just what it is. Yeah. I mean, everyone has their own like taste. That's why I'm going to go back to like 64 audio, but like, I know a lot of people that could care less about their IMs. Mm-hmm. And then I've also met people like me where it's like they love it. And it's
that's all they want to buy.
Yeah, it's all they want to buy.
They just want to stay
it's just like, it's just how it is, But so you were just talking about worst listens in the room. Worst listen in the show.
Yeah.
Do we have the same one? We were kind of touching on it before the thing. You can go first because you were the first one to listen.
Okay.
I'll go next. So what's your worst listen of the show?
It was the Aussie S20.
Yeah.
It was a huge Bummer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a full video posted Friday where I show everything off, or all the stuff I listen to and everything. And as we're recording, I'm thinking to myself as I'm listening to the S20, like, how can I react in a way that just doesn't totally slam this product? And I don't think I reacted accordingly. I actually forgot my bag at the booth because I was just so flustered in the fact that I was like, we have a lot of customers asking about this product, a long wait.
Yeah.
And I finally get my hands on it, and I just think it sounds super bad.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such a bummer. I listened to the reference tracks. I've been listening all day on it. I just was like, I don't know what this is. It sounded compressed. It sounded dampened, muffled. I don't even know. Like, it was just like, this sounds wrong. This sounds incorrect. That's how I would put it. It sounds incorrect.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I don't know the source I listened off of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the full story yet. Like, I'm going to put my video was bad, and that's my listening notes. I wrote my listening notes, bad, 1 star. Spoiler alert.
Just bad 1 star. Yeah.
But I just don't know what fully entails with that headphone, because I'm looking at reviews on Odyssey's website. Not bad. People are like, yeah, there's some issues, at some points, but they're the best mixing headphones I've ever had. They're the best like vocal headphones I've ever had. And I'm just like, it's not my experience. Yeah. I didn't think they were very good at all. So I'm interested to get them here at Bloom.
Yeah.
Maybe update the video later on with a highlighted note in the comment section, like, hey guys, this is actually like a 2 star. Like, it's not bad.
Not a 1 star.
But yeah, I was very disappointed because I really wanted to get good impressions for customers who keep asking, maybe even follow up with customers on, like, my listening experience. But I don't think they'd be too thrilled when I do that. So
yeah, I was feeling similar. So we did figure out, I don't know which models we were listening to, but I was listening to the headphone on a different source at their booth. Because you were saying it was like kind of more muffled in a way, or
I was honestly, kind of stopped critically listening by my second song because I was just in shock of like what's going on.
Your head was
but I would say compressed is how I would describe it.
Okay,
like it sounded like I was listening to a file format that was just like 128 kilohertz. Or 128 kilobytes, sorry.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah. It was just, and like, that just sounds so ridiculous to say, because who knows? Maybe impressions could go online tomorrow of people being like, the S20 is the
best headphone in the world.
And I look like an idiot, but that's how I would describe it.
Yeah, because I don't know. I had similar thoughts. Like, I put it on. This is the most unprepared I've ever been at a CanJam. I didn't bring like anything, ear tips, nothing. I was just like Newtown Central over here. So I walk up. I use their reference tracks, but like there's songs I'm familiar with.
Right.
Now.
Yeah.
So I put the thing on. I think I did like a Taylor Swift song first from her 1998 album.
Okay.
And I'm actually really familiar with that album because my sister's obsessed with that album. So it's like I know how that sounds.
Yeah.
And so I'm listening. And I'm like, the vocals were very prominent. They were very, like, they're the biggest thing that I was hearing, but it didn't sound like her vocals. Like, it sounded very different, like it was someone else. And I think Steve actually made the joke. He was like, well, maybe that's the actual way her vocals actually sound. And you're hearing it for the first time, which it very well could
Odyssey
be.
fanboy in the room.
Yeah. And this is coming from, like, I like Odyssey headphones.
I love Odyssey headphones.
Yeah. And so, like, it was throwing me off, and, like, everything about the song just sounded, like, different. Like, it sounded like a variation, like someone else re-recorded it.
Yes.
So I'm going around. I think I did, like, Billie Jean. Like, I'm doing these songs, like, I've heard, like, a lot of, multiple times. It's sounding just, like, super different, not normal. And so, yeah, I wasn't liking it. I wasn't a fan. But at the same time, like, I wonder if it was just, like, an interesting source I was running it off of. Just, like, I don't know, like, reading off the reviews and what people are saying online, I feel like a crazy person for my experience.
I totally agree.
So I'm really looking forward to, like, getting the headphone in the office, putting it on my setup, using the songs I'm more familiar with, I guess, and just, like, hearing it here And if I still don't like it, I'll be comfortable in the fact.
Yes.
I'm more familiar with what I'm listening with here. But if I like it, then like good. Like I'm hoping I like
I'm
it.
hoping I like it as
hoping
well.
I really like it because like I don't know, when the customer's asking me my true thoughts, I don't want to like lie and say it's a really good headphone.
Yeah.
But I also like feel bad if my experience is unique, you know?
Yeah. No, I want to give it the best chance possible to succeed because first of all, I hate dunking on products that I can't give feedback for. The SC20 is in production. It's it's happening. Like there's no like, hey, give me some. If somebody asks me about a prototype, I'm going to be very honest.
100%.
This is not good. This needs to be fixed, or this is really good. You should proceed forward. I hate dunking on a product that it's like I can't really change. Like why? What benefit does that do other than, when a customer asks, what do you think about it? I'm like, yeah, it's butt. Like I think it's butt Magoo. But like, I'm not just going to publicly say that and without any real change. But I want to like it. I want to get it in here. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. But right now, it's been a bad experience.
Yeah, it's been a bad experience. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I've been nervous on it. I will say, though, for people that do have pre-orders, we did get tracking for our shipment.
Really?
Finally. Yeah.
Should we pop champagne in this room?
I know. I wish I had
Holy
champagne
cow.
in this room. I mean, we don't even have it in this office. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah, just a disclaimer. That's not what we do here.
We can pop a Spindrift, maybe.
Oh, I'd pop a Spindrift after this for sure. Yeah, it'd be nice.
Actually, I just had my first
the mango orange
Spindrift yesterday, and I've been thinking about it. Like my first thought after I finished it was like, Andrew's gonna have another contender for another one drinking some drinks.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna, I don't know. I might have to
start crushing them.
I'm gonna have to start contributing to the stock. I don't know. We'll see.
So you said before this podcast episode you were going to get canceled for some of your audio takes. I feel like you haven't had any ones ridiculous. So I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to put you really on the spot. Do you believe in cables? Because there's background to this. I'm not just setting you up. Do you believe in cables?
Yes and no.
Okay. Explain.
I'll explain. I believe there's something to say about the quality of the cable and the quality of the signal that you're pushing through the cable. So I'm a big believer that, the nicer materials that you use, the cleaner signal that you're going to get, which gives you a better experience. It's pretty relevant in like live sound. You have a million cables. So you want to make sure all your cables are high quality because they're all laying on top of each other. And if they're not high quality, you're going to hear like noise and you're going to hear that stuff in your mix. Example, we just had it this morning when we were setting up for the video. I was hearing noise and I moved this cable off of another cable and noise disappeared. So it's like if you have high quality cables, which I guess I'm exposing that we don't have high quality cables over there. If you have it, that's not an issue. So there's something to say about that. If you have a 2-channel setup, I recommend high quality cables. If you're an audio purist and you want the best audio signal, I recommend a high quality cable. But then that bridges the question, like, do you need to buy a $2,000 cable to have the best auditory experience? I don't think so. I struggle to, like, I don't think I've ever plugged in like a $2,000 cable and have been like, oh my gosh, like I hear so much more. That's never been my experience. I've heard some differences, but not enough, I think, to warrant spending $2,000. Okay. I'm also, I'm not loaded with money over here, so it's like, but like if I had money to throw around, why not? So I don't know. Does that like answer the question?
That answers the question. Great. Have you had an experience where you've put in a cable and it's made a night and day difference in maybe the treble and maybe the bass, the sound stage, the imaging?
A little bit. Okay.
Like
I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. Son of Adam. I will say like that cable, I do get a bit of like brightness or clarity. Okay. Like when I talk to customers, like and they're like they want a cable with lots more detail. I'm like, get that cable. And honestly, the feedback's been good. But again, like nothing like too huge night and day. This is an interesting thing to say. I think part of it also has to do like we listen to so many different things all the time throughout the day. So I feel like if I had an IM at home that I listen to all the time,
all day, every
and
day.
my ear is like, I know how that thing sounds with the stock cable, the IM. Like I've been listening to it for hours for like a month straight. I think then if I introduced a cable, I would probably have a better chance at hearing the difference. I think because like since I don't do that, it's also harder to hear that difference.
Right.
But I don't know. Those are just like hypotheticals because I feel like a crazy man sometimes.
Yeah.
Because some of these customers have like crazy
experiences. It's like ghost stories almost.
Yeah,
it's
and I'm like,
wait.
like I want that.
Yeah, like how you get that because I want that.
Yeah, I want that. So I don't know. Just
that was a great answer, and why I asked that is because I think you know me at this point. I'm not a huge cable guy. I tell people buy cables for aesthetics. If there's any sound differences, more power to you.
Yeah, more power to you.
You know, I just think sitting there rolling cables is just like bananas to me. Like that's just
it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, like
you can't. Yeah,
it's like what are we doing? Like I just for me personally, I'm just like, what? Why would I do this? Like, let me just listen to my music. So I went over to Music Tech's booth, and the Fulgrim was there. The IM.
Oh, dude, forgot about that.
And I was like, I need to listen to this. I've heard so much about it. It's a legend. And I listened to it, and I'm like, wow, it's really good. It's like there's a lot of treble. And I'm not usually sensitive to treble. Like I usually like a lot of treble. I was like, man, this is kind of pitchy. It's a little peaky. I kind of liked it because it was a little bit dynamic. It balanced out the big bass well and the colored mids well. So it was a very exciting listen. I was like, I like this. But I was like, I think a lot of people will find it too much treble. So then I take it off, and the guy, his name was Henry, I think his name was Henry. I think it's Henry. He was really nice. He was a great guy. He, before the listen, was like, do you want a smoother listen or a more pitchy listen? And I was like, I just want to listen to the Fulgrim. I think I said that. I was like, I just want to listen to the Fulgrim. Like, I didn't even know how to answer the question. He's like, okay. And so then he's like, do you want to swap the cable? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Like, I was just like, I guess. Like, what else am I gonna do? So he swaps the cable for me, and I listen to the same track, same volume, same everything. And dude, the treble did come down, and the bass went up, and I was like, oh no. I was a believer. And like Jake's like recording, like, what do you think, bro? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to get on camera and be like, this made a huge difference. Like this is the treble. I was like, no, like there's no, like I know I heard when Strong Boy or Alice V. Blue says this S tone in the song, I've listened to it so many times, there's sibilants. I was like, I use it for that. I was like, there's sibilants in this. Why is there no sibilants? And I take out my IMs, and Duck Bloke was there, and he's like, what did you think about the cable?
Everyone's.
Dude, we have it on camera. Dude, I was on the spot. And I turned back, and I'm like, dude, this cable brought down the treble. And Tim's like, I knew it. I just told the camera right then and there that was what's going to happen. I was like, I just feel like the gospel was shared to me. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I've never had this happen so evidently. So me and Tim talked about, because he's a guy that he doesn't believe in cables either. And I think there's some kind of impedance thing going on there, kind of similarly to like an impedance adapter, which obviously very objectively makes a difference. Like Fat Freak Deuce, you look at the bass before and after impedance adapter, it makes a difference. So I think there's something going on there, because I cannot get over it.
Because I do wonder that, like, how, like, unless there's some sort of technology in the cable, how is like copper and silver taking a lot of my frequencies down to make it sound a lot smoother? Like it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I was just like talking with Tim, like, how is that possible? Like, we both know. Yeah. We don't, like, how are we both hearing that? Like, I heard it so distinctly.
I wish I listened. I totally forgot about the Fulgrim.
Yeah, Fulgrim. Dude, Music Tech's booth was popping.
Yeah. I walked by it, and I was like, whoa. Like,
it was
every
nice,
chair
dude.
filled. That was just like the theme of the day. When I walked around, it was like at 2, so that was like the busy time probably. But I was just like, man.
Yeah.
Like,
the Music Tech was popping.
It's hard to sit down somewhere.
Yeah. TJ or Theodore Zerlo was like, he was like, you Fulgrim hunting? I was like, I'm Fulgrim hunting. I listened to that. I listened to the Alpha Omega. That was a pretty good set. Yeah. Some of those more specialty rare tunings, I'm always kind of like, I like it. I don't know if I'm like over the moon about it, like some people are. But
what was like your favorite like listen at the show?
It was the MysticCraft Hex.
Yeah, I'd heard.
Dude, So I talked to Mark Ryan at the show, or Super Review at the show, and he was like, is that anything blown you away? Or maybe I asked him what blew him away at the show, and he said the Volk Audio Etoile, which I was not expecting at all. I was like, whoa, I'm surprised he said that, which was cool though, because Etoile is good. But I just was not expecting him to say that. But then he asked me, and I was like, dude, it's the MysticCraft Hex. Like, that IM's nuts. And he was like, I had a bunch of people hype it up to me, and I wasn't really that impressed. And I was like, oh, so this is on people's radar. Because to me, I had heard about MysticCraft. I knew the guy from Elysion left and started tuning these IMs. So I was just like, yeah, I want to go hear it. I love Elysion stuff. So nothing was really that hyped to me. So maybe that I just went in with zero expectations. I didn't even know the price of the IM. But dude, oh my gosh, I listened and I was like, this is the experience I've been chasing since I heard Subtonic Storm at CanJam New York City. I was sitting there and I just heard the vocals hit and I was like, oh, like these are the most transparent vocals I probably ever heard in IM.
Wow.
Bass is so defined. The separation of the mid bass and sub bass was so distinct. I was like,
I need to hear that.
I was like, this is unbelievable. Pretty colored, pretty engaging, like very musical, emotional, but still has that reference kind of sound where it's like, I don't think I'm missing anything. I was having this life-altering experience, this emotional experience.
This is insane. I haven't heard him like talk about an IM like this
I'm telling you.
In a while. Usually he's like, yo, I don't even.
Well, there it is. Well,
talk about
we can't talk about it. I'll blank out their name, but the person that made that headphone and like showed it to us, I was kind of like, whatever.
Which
like,
I kind of knew you were gonna say that. I mean, can I even talk about this?
I'm gonna bleep out the brand,
out, but like my perspective, like where I was skeptical was the treble. Yeah. And I was like, he's going to rip on the treble probably. And you're over there not making a reaction. His face, he's just got a few songs. And I'm like, no, he takes it off. Yeah. It's okay.
Totally cool guy in the whole room. Yeah. It's all right.
It's all right.
But no, it was like.
But that's good.
It's crazy now to hear that the experience I had with Hex, it was life-changing.
Yeah.
And like, again, people, Mark Ryan, I think a few people around the show was kind of like, it's okay. But to me, it just hit all the right notes and I'm having this life-changing experience. And then Zeos comes up with a camera. He's like, bro, what are your impressions on the, and I love Zeos. His energy is awesome. He's just like a shot of espresso. He's like, what's your experience? What do you think, bro? This is the IM of the show. Like, and I'm just like, I really like it. I think it's very good. He's like, do you even know the price? And I'm like, no, I was about to ask it. He's like, he turns the camera to the guy. He's like, what is the price? And the guy's like, $9,000. And I was like, wow. Wow. So
I gotta sell my car.
Dude, sell your car, sell all of your audio equipment, refinance your mortgage, like everything you have to do to get the IM, you must. No, I'm joking. Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Nothing's worth $9,000 in my opinion.
What was like? Was it made out of like diamonds?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. The build was the worst part of it. The build was nice. The build is nice, but like the look of it, I don't think looks anything more than like I think a Valhalla looks better. I think it feels better. But obviously the build is top notch. Like the materials they use is really solid. It didn't feel like a resin shell. It didn't feel cheap in the hand. But I didn't like the look of it aesthetically. Yeah. And I might have totally over exaggerated that Zeus experience, but that's what it felt like to me.
It's intense.
It was nuts. He was so funny in the moment because I'm just having this like musical, sweet, emotional experience, and he just comes up like camera right in your face.
What do you think?
And then I listened to their Myth, which is their $1,200 IM, which is another really good one. It was hard to go from Hex to that and be like, this is just as good, or like, you don't need to buy the Hex, like you need to buy this instead. It was like, this is really good. It competes with Monarch, maybe even like just as good. Maybe I could see some people going with that one over the Monarch or whatever. But so that was a very good listen. But yeah, the Hex was definitely the one of the show.
Were there any like brands, like new brands that you ran into that you really liked? That you were like, are we good on time too? I don't even know what the times are.
We've been running. Oh, actually, I think we're at an hour. Oh no, we're about to hit an hour. So that's about. Yeah. No, that's a good question. I've never. I'm a huge Nice HCK fan, and I love their ear tips. And I recommend them to everybody. I recommend to a guy in a chat today.
I like their Rocky IM, by the way.
Well, that was what I was going to say. Like Rockies and their prototype was really solid.
I was seeing online too, before I went to CanJam, people were kind of like comparing it to the Mega 5 EST.
Dude.
Saying like it's kind of like a better version.
Dude, this
of the Mega.
This is crazy.
EST.
You know ball. I was telling Jake this the other day because we were talking about the Rockies. I was like, people were talking. It was a little bit of an airier, a little bit more detailed in the treble region Mega 5 EST. And I listened. I would need to A and B them. I don't know exactly how, because I always kind of felt like the Mega 5 EST was very good but very flat. Didn't have those dynamics, and I feel like Rocky was pretty dynamic. So I guess I would say that if I had to agree or disagree with that take, I'd probably say I agree, just going off, my experience with the Mega 5 EST and the Rockies. But I had never listened to Nice HDK IMs, and I
was liking it. I actually had a customer this morning ask about the Rocky.
Oh, really?
And I was like, stay tuned.
So that was really fun to listen to. But like brands I had never heard, CraftEars, I had never heard of, and they were solid. But
I wish you listened to the lower tier ones.
I know, I do too. I'm really
I should have
bummed
said
out.
something.
Yeah,
because I liked it better.
Yeah, Crinier I obviously know, but he had some new IMs. Monolith.
Did you like those?
Yeah. His $99 one that he was showing, I didn't really like. I was not really a fan. I thought if you're gonna spend $99 in his lineup, just shell out like $60 more and get the Daybreak, or $50 more, whatever it is. If you can, if you can't, the $99 one is fine, but the Monolith is really good. Really, it sounds like an IMAX theater sound. Like the bass is super bold and present, but the whole mix as a whole is just very.
That sounds fun.
It's all there. The sub bass isn't too powerful, but like the bass is really it's monstrous.
How much is that one?
500. So it's his most expensive. I think it's very competitive. I could see some other people wanting something different, like a Brain Dance or Oracle MK3, but I think the Monolith really did it for me. I was like, this is really nice. Yeah. Got to listen to his 7th Q6 Asteria. That was really cool.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know it was there.
I didn't know it was there either.
That's so good you got to listen to it though.
Yeah. When I was listening to CraftEars, I looked over at Mark Ryan. I'm like, oh, hey, Mark. And I look over again. I'm like, what's in bro's ears?
Yeah,
I was like,
Asteria?
I started listening to thinking to myself, I'm like, is that an Asteria? I was like, no, it's not Asteria. We didn't bring an Asteria. I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, I swear it's an Asteria.
Yeah.
Like, I know that cable in the faceplate, that's an Asteria.
No one knew that it was there, really.
Yeah.
Because for instance, like, we were supposed to bring it.
Yeah.
Stuff got delayed with shipping or whatever. We were getting it shipped directly to CanJam, but then that shipment got delayed, so we weren't going to have it. And all these people were like, "Yeah, the Asteria here." It was there the whole time. So
it was at Elise Audio.
Yeah, Audio had it.
So I got to listen to that. That was really cool. But brands I'd never recognized before. I don't think so. For the most part, I had a general idea of what I was going to listen to and who I was going to.
Yeah.
Apos Audio debuted their new IM, the Rock Lobster.
Yeah.
So that's a first for them. Fosi had their first IM there. Did you listen to Fosi's IM?
No.
Okay.
They were also busy over
Very
there.
busy, yeah.
Fosi team, though.
Great people.
Really nice.
Energetic people.
Yeah, they came in our room
people.
Just like
firing on all cylinders. Yeah. Like, here you guys go. Oh, you guys are the best. You guys are. It's like, wow. Like, this is awesome. They were really sweet. They were really cool people.
They were definitely a highlight. I feel like the team keeps on talking about it.
Yeah. They're just a dynamic duo, those two. They were. I just will never forget. They were meeting Sierra for the first time, and they're like pushing each other towards Sierra. Like, oh, you go, no, you go.
She's like, this is Sierra. Go meet her. Pushes her in. It's just, I don't know. I mean, those types of like that personality. It's like it's awesome. Like we all remember that. They made an amazing first impression. Yeah, I'm excited to continue working with them.
Yes, I agree.
Makes you excited.
They were excited about their product line too. Like they were like, I took the IM4, which is their IM, out of my ears, and they're just like, "What do you think? What do you think?" Like, we're getting really good impressions on the way. And I was like,
"This is awesome."
Yeah, I know. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I think that's what I would describe it as. The mids are really hollowed out.
Yeah, and what their IM,
the scooped, really scooped.
I didn't get to listen to that one. Their i5 actually did really well in a room.
i5's awesome.
Yeah, everyone because like people would listen to stuff. I don't know, say like I'm looking for this, and I'd be like, listen to this.
Yeah.
And then I would tell them the price, and they were like, what? Like
Yeah.
$500 or $550.
Some of the best planar bass, in my opinion, dude.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge planar guy, but they really make me love planars.
Yeah, that one's a really good set. That one was a huge hit at CanJam New York City, so I'm glad it was able to be at the show. I'm glad we were able to have it. Because I think it's a great headphone. I think Fosse's making some market-changing stuff, man.
No, they are.
I mean, their vinyl phono stages are really good. Their tube amps are very good. Their DAC, the ZD3, man. I was looking up on Audio Science Review. It measures amazing, dude. It's like $130, $140. It's pretty crazy, man. They're doing their thing. Their K5 is doing really well. So Fosse's up to something, man. They're making some
I'm excited. I heard their vinyl turntables are actually pretty good.
Really?
I was talking to, some of them. I don't know about all of them. But I was talking to this one dude that does reviews, and they sent him one for a review. And the technology that they use, I forget, I'm blanking. But it's different than your average turntable. And the stuff that he was saying was like actually pretty interesting. And for the price, because again, I think it's like $200. It's a pretty, like the speed is really accurate.
Wow.
And I was just like, that's interesting, because I know for lower tier turntables, if you're spending like $100 or $200, it's common that the RPM speed can be a little bit off or can waver. I always know that to be like a common issue. And he was saying like this thing was locked in. They use like I wish I knew the technology, but it's like it's all electronic. It's not your average. You have a belt around the wheel that's controlling the speed. They use something else. I'm butchering the whole thing. I should probably stop talking.
Well, hey, I'm not fact checking you. I'm just like, this is awesome.
It intrigued me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna look more into it and like see what they got going on, because that's cool. But
that's awesome, man.
But I like that brand.
That was basically CanJam for me. I'm trying to think of anything else. There's obviously a lot more I listened to, a lot more notes that I have to share, and that'll be in the video.
It'll be on the video.
Yeah, shout out to all the people that came to our booth that was just saying hi. Just a few people that come to mind is obviously Neil Snyder. Prom, am I pronouncing his name correctly? Prom, I
think it's Prom.
He gave us some, dude, that cookie I've been snacking on.
Dude, nicest guy in the world.
Nicest guy ever.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on dude's name?
Tobin.
Yes, Tobin Lang. Yes, dude. Oh my gosh, what a really nice guy.
Some of you guys, like some of you guys really make my weekend there.
Yes,
like the words that you guys express are just like so kind, and I'm like what is going on here? Like you guys are awesome.
It's crazy. I don't think we understand or really get why some people like have this feeling towards us, but it's like, this is so sweet and so kind, and like I feel it right back. Like Tobin Lang just made my entire weekend. I'm still thinking about our interactions. I love it. And
he literally was like, he was leaving. You could tell he wanted to say some words, and he was like, "Yeah, I gotta go." He's like, "I love you guys."
Yeah,
like I'm not crazy affectionate with my words, but in that moment, I was just like, "I love you too,
bro.
I love you too, man."
Yeah, like it's crazy experiences, and we really can't thank you guys enough. Like even just Neil Snyder coming around, he's always BSing with us, but like that dude, like I mean, maybe I don't know if I should say this on air, but like he gifted my wedding. Like he literally went on to my registry and gifted me, and like that kind of stuff is just like, that's bananas about this community, man. And I see it a lot too when somebody doesn't have something in our room. People are so quick to be like, dude, I have that adapter right here.
Listen, try that. Like,
dude, you should try this DAP that I have. You should.
And that's just where it bounces back to like the fact of everyone here loves audio and just wants to share that passion with each other. Because outside of this community, it's like dude, like with my girlfriend, I talk to her about this stuff, but she doesn't fully understand it. In the terms of like, I don't know, I'll talk about certain audio stuff and she's like, that's cool, and she tries to understand, but unless like you're really in the hobby and know everything, it's like you can't really share that experience with people. So when they're at CanJam, it's like everyone just wants to share that experience.
I know, it's so
listen to this thing I have. Customers giving us IMs to listen to. Like, I love this IM. I want to share this experience with you. And that's just like what it comes down to. And I just think that's cool. And when I'm at these CanJams, a thought that's like in my head is like, I hope these events never die. Like, the next generation needs to pick this up.
Yes.
And it needs to keep on going on, because like, You know, it's special. I think places of community are a special thing.
Yeah.
We need to keep live.
I loved seeing Tim or Duckbook was displaying his MK12 IM with high diz.
Yeah.
And at our booth we had one, and you know, you're supposed to listen to it with the EQ files and everything, and some guy, I'd handed it to him and Tim had just walked in. And I was like, this is a pretty cool opportunity. So I hand him the MK12 and Tim saw it. So he comes over, he pulls over a seat. He's like sitting with this guy. He's like, I actually, you know, kind of helped tune this, and started walking him through all the PEQ settings. And the guy was just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and they just got to like connect right then and there. They're like, oh, you know, my name's Tim. What's your name? Oh, yeah. And I'm just like looking at this like, yeah, this is a special moment that I'm able to kind of, you know, see a new like friendship or whatever, new kind of like, you know, just people meeting and interacting with each other is just really cool. I actually, my one friend I met 2 years ago at CanJam SoCal, I texted him this time. I was like, you going to be here? I was like, you wasn't there last year. You were supposed to go, but he couldn't make it. And then this year, I was like, hey, you think you'll make it? And so he's like, I don't think I will, but maybe next year and stuff. And I'm just like, those are cool friendships and experiences that are only shared at CanJam and places of community. So
no, they are.
It was really cool to see. But I think we're getting ready to wrap up here. Yeah. We hit an hour. I don't think we expected that.
I was like
40 minutes.
I was
should
like, Crank,
be
maybe
okay.
we'll get like 30 minutes. I was pretty nervous.
You were great, man. This was really fun. I really enjoyed having you on. I thank you for filling in on really late notice.
Yeah, we did it. Hope Jake feels better soon.
Yeah, please be thinking of Jake. He's really going through the ringer right now. We want to have him back in this office and all the podcasts as soon as possible. But Marty, thank you very much. Do you want to hit a little outro? We do a little Peace Noobs action.
As you can say, I've never made it to the very, very end of the podcast. So I'm getting exposed.
You're a big listener. But I'll count down 3, 2, 1. We'll hit a little Peace Noobs with a peace salute. All right.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Peace Noobs.
That's perfect.
That was awesome.